Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Facebook can't mute that. I hope not. I'm like, they like that police for real. It's off the chain. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. Yes. Today's topic is why I sleep with down low husbands. I don't want to say yours because I ain't trying to put that out there in the atmosphere. That I'm not trying to do. We got hot topics lined up, and of course, we're going to address this first hot topic of what's going on. Housekeeping today. Guess what? The house is clean. Everything quiet in the okay? So we like to keep it that way, or anything of, I should say, interest. I hate to be that way, but you know what I mean. So my co-hosts, Nick, Amber, what's happening?
Nothing. I'm just I'm on the road right now, so I'm not in my usual setting, but I'm happy to be here. And I saw the topic last night, and I thought, "Ooh, this is gonna be juicy." Yes,
it is. But first of all, did you guys hear about Reverend Carlton Funderburk? Make sure all your mutes are off.
No, I haven't heard about him.
Girl, I was just talking and forgot my mute.
Okay, well, go ahead. So you haven't heard about Carlton Funderburk. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, let me get you going. I'm going to play a clip for the listening audience to catch everybody up. But that's a cool name, though. Funderburk, like Carlton Funderburk. Sounds so astute. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can get this real quick. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. Come on. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's. Yes, you can. And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. When y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expressions.
Okay, so that's pastor from Kansas. I want to say that's from he's a pastor out of Kansas City.
Okay.
And he was speaking to his congregation. Now, I don't know how many people in the congregation, but what was interesting to me was they were agreeing with him. And I looked and I'm like, oh my God, he calling y'all cheap, broke, busted, disgusted. And then the thing that was key to me is when he said, you don't find any value in, father is the one that stuck there. First of all, you're not my father and you shouldn't be their father. But what's your thoughts, both of you ladies, what's your thoughts on that? First we had Kim Burrell, then we had Bishop Tupac. What was his name? Bishop Whitehead. Yeah.
Right. Okay. 2 Chainz.
With the prayer closet that was like out of this world, the one that got. And then now you have him. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll say it. I mean, he wasn't too far off when he said father.
Uh-oh. I think we lost her. Go ahead. Okay.
And
there you go.
Beyond that.
Go ahead.
Okay. Beyond that, he was, I mean, frankly, it's not stuff I haven't heard before in the church. And I do think he has a point because if you can, but something I found very problematic in the church is they don't teach financial literacy. They just want to teach you to tithe your 10% off the top. And that's what people do. And then a lot of people will tithe off the bottom. So they'll pay all their bills, they'll go shopping, they'll get their stuff. And then whatever's left, they'll tithe with that. And a tithe is supposed to be 10%. Anything less than 10% isn't actually a tithe. It's just a gift to the church. But, you know, so tithing off the top, I've definitely been taught that. But as far as like, not just you're supposed to tithe, but you're also just learn how to manage your money.
True. But he called him cheap. He said he ain't worth. But, and see, that's the thing. He said he's not worth. He said he asked for a Movado watch last year and still didn't give it. So my thing is, are you focused on
material things?
No, that's forget that. Not that. That's not my thing. My thing is, are you focused on the church or yourself? You know, because I understand that, you know, with tithing, it helps to, you know, keep the church functioning. The lights, you know, the bills being paid, you know. And for him to just talk about his own personal stuff, then he's hit a St. John net. That is so throwback. I'm going to need you, like St. John. No disrespect, but whatever. Like, that is so, way back. And then Red Lobster, do people still go there?
Yeah.
Do they? And is it still expensive?
People still go there.
Is it still expensive? Because it was expensive 30 years ago.
It's still expensive. I don't know why, but anyway.
You can get better fish, you know, from a small mom and pop spot. But, like, I think the overall message was pretty accurate. But, yeah, I feel like the way I was raised Methodist, and I just feel like when a person enters the pulpit, it's no longer about you. You're supposed to get up in that pulpit and preach the word. So where does the word talk about Movado watch? The Movado watch you didn't get. I really can't stand, it's a pet peeve of mine, when men of the cloth, women of the cloth start interjecting all their personal experiences and analogies. I don't need your analogies. Just stick to the scripture. And I feel like that, if he had stuck to the scripture, because it is scripture based, it would have been a solid message and it would have been valid. Because there's a lot of people who call themselves Christians and they move like that, and that's not biblical teaching. But him putting in all this personal stuff, him using all these modern day examples, you don't need to use modern examples.
His personal request.
His personal request and his little vendettas against whomever in the congregation didn't give him a Movado watch. On top of that, I just want to point out that more than likely the people that were cheering him on, you know, it was like a preaching to the choir type of situation. So they're the ones that are actually tithing. And they're like, yeah, you know, they're not tithing. That's probably why they were cheering him on. So he was talking about certain people in the church.
Girl, was about 3 of them in there. All right, Nick, come on, Nick the voice.
Was the loudest one. That's the one that got picked up on audio. You know?
Okay. The loudest ones was probably the ones that was like appealing to his request, giving him what he needs or want. Oh, okay. Right. Go ahead, Nick. What's your thoughts? Nick the voice, come on with it.
First of all, I can see if he was talking about the church roof needs to be fixed or they need a new hot water heater or something like that. Yeah, then I can understand. But a Movado, something personal material item for you, man, sit down and have several seats and read your Bible again, please, from front to back, up, top, down, backwards, in front, whatever, because that is not what you're supposed to be getting up there preaching about. Number one, that's something material. And for all them little choir members that, you know, the peanut gallery.
They weren't even in the choir. That was a congregation.
The peanut gallery.
Go ahead.
It was the only way, like, because I can assure you, not the whole entire congregation was, especially since he was talking about them like he was the peanut gallery. Maybe if y'all felt that way, maybe one of y'all should have got him, or the three of y'all that was, amen, yeah, tell him, preach. Y'all should have got together and got him that watch. But man, sit down. You was right to do an apology, and if I was most of the members of the congregation, I wouldn't accept it, because first and foremost, like, you do want to shower your pastor with gifts. You do.
But that's the pastor's anniversary.
Huh?
That's the pastor's anniversary.
Exactly. And if you want to do something extra because you have a phenomenal pastor for his birthday or whatever, I understand. You know, that's something personal that you do. But for a pastor to get up there in front of the congregation and downgrade the congregation because he didn't get a watch, man, where's your wife at? Get you a girlfriend. I know you got a side piece.
Well, why she got to pay for it?
Why the whole congregation got to pay for it? They there to get the word. Their responsibility is make sure the church is together so that they can come on now. Like, for real.
Look, the dog even got something to say.
Or a ministry, or if they were raising money to do some missionary work or something.
Exactly.
But, you know, or to help a family or donate to this and that or whatever. Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we had a comment for a listening audience that said the anniversary ain't in the Bible. Right. It's usually the people from the church. But here's the interesting thing. He said, I'm talking to my broke sons and daughters. First of all, what if that's the only money that I have? And you telling me after church, I got to feel guilty about feeding my children McDonald's because I didn't give you. And then for you to tell me that he said he talking to his broke sons and daughters. First of all, I'm not your daughter. Okay. So somewhere we mixed this up. Carlton Thunderbird. Man, that's a cool name though. That's a cool name though. Like, they did that. But come on. Like, where are we going?
Well,
nowhere fast.
Because I will say there are some churches that will teach like financial literacy, and they really do pour back into their congregation. And I do feel like biblical teaching is being responsible with your finances. So, I mean, maybe it's like that, but I really super highly doubt it. He also sounds like he's African American, and so I just.
With a name like Carlton Thunderbird.
No, I mean, but based on the recording you showed, and I just feel like it's very unlikely that he's actually helping his congregation to learn how to manage their finances better. I highly doubt that.
Okay, now let's listen to the public apology. You know, I got to be fair.
I'm the senior pastor of Church of the Well, right here in Kansas City, Missouri. I want to take this moment to address the now viral video clip of me from a sermon given August the 7th, 2022. Though there is context behind the content of the clip, no context will suffice to explain the hurt and anguish caused by my words. I have spoken to those I am accountable to and have received their correction and instruction. I have also privately apologized to our church, who has extended their love and support to me. I'm privileged to do life with them. The video clip does not reflect my heart or my sentiments toward God's people, yet that's not discernible in the clip. Therefore, I offer this sincere apology to you today. No context could erase the words I used. I apologize to all who have been hurt, angered, or in any way damaged by my words. The zeal of any presentation must be tempered with love and respect.
Okay, so he learned his lesson, and if you guys want to hear the rest of it, you can. It's like 2 minutes, but we got a good show going on today, so I'm about to give him that, okay? He can't get that. It's like, Somebody said Carlton thought he was Creflo Dollar. And here's the thing he said in his sermon. And see, that's what I got. When I listened to it, I said he is preaching this as if is scripture. Like you know what I mean? Like a word. Like you are making personal requests as if it's a word from God. That's a personal request. Now, I ain't trying to be telling people how to preach because I am no way a pastor, an evangelist, or anything.
I will.
But we know you will. You know, we know how you was with was it Bishop Whitehead?
Wrong.
Yeah, Bishop Whitehead. You was like, I need to see the credentials. Like, so we know Amber. Hey, for the listening audience, I want to put this phone number out here. We getting ready to get deep and answer these questions. The phone number here is 619-902-2287. 619-902-2287. I'm going to set this up for you guys. For those who are now tuning in and don't know what the topic is. The topic is why I sleep with down low husbands. Mel, why would you do a show about the down low? We thought that was out. We thought that everybody was out, but everybody is not out. Everybody is not out. And there are people that feel as though that, oh, okay, well, I can come on out the closet and do what it is that I want to do. You know what I mean? And then there's those that's like, no. I'm still uncomfortable. And that's fair. Now, let's wait a minute. So with that being said, you know, and as, you know, being a wife, you feel betrayed. And you feel like, well, why wouldn't you just tell me? And I had my thoughts. I did. And I want you guys to chime in too. I had my thoughts. I was like, even, you know, people that say they have been delivered. You know who I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That you were gay and now you're no longer gay. That's something that me personally, I wouldn't be able to move forward with that individual. Because that would be an individual. Everybody deserves love, but this is me personally. And my views are not the views of the co-host on Shop Talk with Mel. Being with somebody who was gay and delivered, I believe in God, I believe in deliverance. And I also believe in the struggle. Okay? Dating someone who was gay and then they're no longer gay, or attempting to help them with their new deliverance life, would be like dating someone who was on drugs. And what do I mean by that? Every day you go out, my mind will be like, oh, I wonder if they're going to be with a guy. You know, it's all right. The dog's there, honey. It's all right. So, Nick, would you consider dating someone who was gay and no longer gay?
My personal preference, no. Am I condemning anyone that would, or condemning that person that was formerly gay? No, I'm not. I mean, but for my personal preference, no.
Okay.
I mean, because to each his own, you got to live your life how you live it, whether you announce to the world, whether you keep it to yourself, because for real, that's your business, and don't nobody got to live your life but you, and there's only one judge that sits on the throne, and that's the one above, the Heavenly Father, so I can't judge anybody one way or the other, but yeah, for my personal preference, I couldn't do it.
Now, why wouldn't you be able to?
It just my personal preference. First of all, getting intimate with someone, that would probably play in my mind all the time. And then me, even though I'd be praying on it all the time, I would personally be like, is this person still, he's just telling me that he's, you know, is he bisexual now? Or so those thoughts would be running through my mind, and I just couldn't do it.
Okay. I can understand that. I could definitely understand that. Let me put this out here right now. Minors, go. If you have children in the room, right now, please remove them, because I don't want to be responsible for this adult conversation that we're having early in the morning. But I think that women need to know why and what is this. And, you know, it almost seemed like a phase, you know, because it's like, oh, wait, more people. But then again, it might not be. People just been like just chilling for a long time. You know what I mean? And just keeping it on the low. Well, my guest that's coming on, he saves marriages. Some. Like, how, yeah, I know y'all like, how you saving a marriage? Okay. We go get into that. I should just put it out there. Well, let me just say this. For my ladies, for my wives, for, long-term relationships or being in relationships. This is sometimes women don't do things that their mate may want them to do. And that might be something they desire. So, we're going to have an adult conversation. If you have any questions, please write this number down. You can text 619-902-2287 for the viewing audience. The number is going across the banner. If you have any questions, and we are not going to show his face, and just to get the real deal. You know what I mean? Honestly, because we're out there, we don't, people and be off the chain. All right. So for the sake of the show, we're going to call him Eugene. And y'all ready to meet Eugene? Eugene. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
How are you doing today?
Good. I need you to speak up a little louder, Eugene.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
I can. You know what, Eugene? I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for coming on and giving us the real, raw, and uncut information on what's the deal with the down low guys. This is
right.
And we talked, and and it's not just a black thing or a white thing.
Yeah, it's everybody's thing.
Yes, it is. Let me ask this question: what is your sexual preference?
Okay, well, I'm bisexual, but I like women more than I like men. And that being said, I'll put it out there, I wasn't always bisexual. And, I wasn't born that way. And, a lot of people would like to say, you're born gay, you're born homosexuality, you're born lesbian. No. It's a choice that you make in your life to choose to go that way. No, I'm just going to stop that right there. I don't like when people say that. I hate when people say that because they're born that way. No, you're not born gay. You're not born to sleep with another man. It says in the Bible, we're not to be with another man. We're supposed to be with a woman. But it's the choices that we make in our lives to define us. And, if that's what you like, that's just what you like. My preference is a little bit different because, I've been through a lot in my life to come to that point to choose that, But,
wait, Eugene. So, can you sum it up really fast as far as what you've been through to make you come to that, to make that decision to actually be with men?
Well, I was molested and raped by men. So, I got curious and, it was just more, I got into it and then, I said, man, I like it. This is what I want. This is what I choose.
Okay.
I'm not gonna...
Okay, 1 second, because you said something. So you being raped by a man and touched by a man, and then you said you liked it.
I'm not saying I liked it being raped. I'm not saying that. I'm saying after a while, I got curious. And when I got curious, I was like, okay, I want to try something different. I want to see what the other side can bring. And it's more of a sex thing for me. Now, you got other homosexuality and lesbians, they do it because they want a relationship. I do it because I dislike sex a lot,
Okay. Pin that right there. So you're just out for the feel good.
Right.
Okay. What, if you don't mind me asking, when you were actually able to make a decision to decide, okay, I'm getting ready to go this direction, what was it? How was that introduction?
I mean, it's hard to say because when I thought about it and really thought about it, it's a choice excuse me, that I had to make. And, it comes with a lot of hostility. A lot of people look at you different, and you have to live a different lifestyle. And when you're living this lifestyle, this is what I choose to do. I want to sleep with men. I like men. I like the feeling and everything. And, I like the sex life. Now,
okay, wait. Let me get into that. So when you say the sex part, what is it about the sex that you like with a man?
I like the arousement of other men. I like to see, the arousement, the excitement, and, sometimes a man can do a little bit more than what a woman can do.
Meaning? No. You got to give us the details. Meaning what?
Okay, they can perform a little bit because men know what men like. They know what men want, And being that said, I can have sex with a man and they know exactly what I want and how I want it.
Well, you gotta give us you gotta help us out here.
Okay.
So what's different? Okay. What's different having sex with a man? What's the difference between having sex with a man than having sex with a woman? Besides, there's no vagina. Okay, because you said that men know what men like. So help us sister out.
Okay, all right. Well, y'all know how some of y'all sisters like to go down on have perform oral sex on men.
Okay.
So when y'all do that, I mean, some of y'all can be pros at it. Some of y'all, I'm not going to say every woman is a pro at it, because sometimes they don't know it.
Okay, go ahead.
But I like how a man, when he goes doing oral, he knows how to do it, and the erotic feeling about it. It's like a adrenaline, and you like that secret life, and it's kind of how I say when I say a secret life, it's something exciting, and it makes you more want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And the oral aspect, the feeling, the smells, the touching and everything, it just feels so good. And, I'm not saying it's right, but that's my preference. That's what I want, So I'll do that. And, it's just,
okay.
It's just something about a man that turns me on.
Okay. So you said earlier, so the arousal.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean getting him hard? That turns you on?
Right.
Okay. And when they perform oral sex on you or you perform oral sex on them, that turns you on?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it has been said that that the anus has like an erogenous zone there.
Yes, that's our G spot.
So, now see, that's where, I heard that. I read it. I heard it.
Now, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, now, some men, now not every man, but, you get a real man that likes sex a lot, that really enjoys having sex. So when you explore different things, like a lot of women, and I heard a woman brought this up. She said, when she has sex with a man, she likes to play with a man's anal. And, y'all G spots are in y'all vagina, but our G spots are in our anal. And then when a woman goes into that position and puts her fingers, in that, and starts playing with that, and then sometimes they may use their tongues, whatever, and that's our spot. That's when we get off. But a lot of men don't like doing that all the time because they feel like it's gay. They feel like, I'm being violated. But if you're comfortable with your sexuality and you're secure about your sexuality, then it shouldn't be no limit in what you can do in the bed. You know what I'm saying? And it all comes down to, are you comfortable with your partner?
Okay. Go ahead, Amber. You had a question?
So actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Mel, but yeah, so women have a from what I thought was that everyone has multiple G-spots. So most people, women, have a G-spot inside the vagina. We also have a G-spot inside the anus area. And then, we also have a G-spot. A lot of people have a G-spot in their ear, like when you stick a Q-tip way deep up in there, So I thought there was a couple G-spots in the body, not just one.
God bless you. Look, I'm over here sneezing. Like, okay, wait a minute. Yes, that's it. I read that. I don't know for certain, but I'm thinking, to myself, and I'm like, okay, you be blocked up. Yeah, I gotta go there. You be blocked up. Don't nothing feel good about being blocked up and that coming out. Okay, I don't get turned on by it, and I'm like, that gotta be quite painful. So Eugene, is it actually painful, or was it painful? Like, help me out, because when you say, when a male's G-spot is in his anus, like, you gotta get there first.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you this then. So you remember the first time you had sex with a man, right? Okay, you was a virgin. So you're a virgin, and you're just now having sex with another person, and you're opening yourself to another person. So, of course, it's going to hurt the first time. And then after a while, you start going into it, and it starts feeling good. So for a man, that's a whole different thing. It's kind of a life-changing moment. So now you're being penetrated by another man. And you have to get, a lot of people, they use their lubricate.
Okay, yeah, lubricant. Yeah, you definitely, I see that.
You have to use that Vaseline, that baby oil, whatever you got to use it. I would suggest you use it but a lot of people just like using their saliva. They like, going down there and licking it and everything. But for me, you gotta use lubricant. You gotta use that because you're not gonna go into me raw and just think it's gonna flow with you. No, you gotta have lubricant. And you got to be comfortable because you're opening yourself up to a person, and
that's a whole different that's a whole different thing. let me just say that. Listen, wait, Eugene, we got questions. Okay. And my phone is going. Go ahead, Amber, with your question.
I have a question. So is the anal G-spot something different than like prostate stimulation, which is also from the anal region? Or is that are we talking about the same thing?
No. It's different because it's a little further in. Yeah, it's a little further in. Now, when you say, because there are women out there that's okay with having anal sex. Mm-hmm. But and see, that's why I had him on. So for the listening audience, Nick is like saying no. But that's why I asked Eugene to come on and to let us know. There are women who are not willing to do certain things that their man desires. And Eugene, when we were talking earlier, I think it was this week or whatever. And when we were talking, he shared that you have to be comfortable with your partner. And he said the best thing to do is to have that discussion at the beginning.
Right.
And when he was talking, he also shared that, because I know we're going to run out of time and I don't want to do that. He was saying that most people, when they're in a relationship and the male might desire that and he wants that, but he's with a female that's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. But that's something that he actually desired. So he married somebody that he can't go there with, and he can't express that because she might look at him in a different light. And that's where people like Eugene come in. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. And the threesomes, we talked about the threesomes.
Yeah.
And with 3 men. And so you'd be surprised with the people that's still down low because they're not accepted. And we as women are like, nope, not doing that.
Well, can I say this?
Sure.
Now you say no, but I'm going to put this out there, and I may get some hate on it, and but I'm going to say this: there is some women out there, and I'm not going to say black women. I'm not going to say it's all types of women, but there is going to be some women out there that do like anal sex, that do like having multiple partners, that do like experiencing new things. Now,
1 second, Eugene. Hit your mute, Nick, so I can hear him. Go ahead.
Okay. But there is, some women that like to go beyond and having multiple partners or having anal sex or this. But this, like I said, it comes down to you having communication with your significant other. Now, that being said, when you have sex with someone, I always tell somebody, when you start being intimate with somebody, please sit down and talk to your man, talk to your woman, and discuss your boundaries. Discuss the yes and the no, what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Now, if you come to an agreement with both and y'all feel comfortable with each other's sexualities and y'all secure about it, then go ahead for it. But don't come into a relationship when you say, okay, we're going to have a threesome, and y'all have the threesome, and then now the girl that did the threesome with you, she wants to have more sex with you, or you're not doing something that girl did. Don't get mad about it because you said yes to having a threesome. You can't get mad about it. Now, well, I will say this. Now, if you're going to do a threesome with someone, please talk about it before you do it. Have the discussion about it and tell your significant other, okay, this is what we're going to accept and this is what we're not going to accept. And go to that part. But, I mean, a lot of people get confused, like having orgies and threesomes. And,
wait, before we get there, I need let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
Because I want you to answer this question.
Okay.
When you made the statement, I'm reading these comments as they're coming in questions. When you made the statement that a man knows what a man likes, even though a female may be given oral sex and she may be a pro, getting oral sex from another man is different.
Right.
What about those men that prefer to give it, the husbands that want to give it to somebody else and not receive? What is, I don't understand that. What's the...
Are you saying from...
Like,
to a woman?
No. So like, let's say if I'm a guy and I look and I'm like, oh, okay, I just want to perform oral sex on you and I get off on that.
Okay.
What is that about? Like, how do you get off on?
Now you got a lot of men. Okay, now there's a heterosexual man, and then there's a man that like getting how can I say this without sounding bad? Like getting messed around with. They like getting pleasure. A taker and a pleasure. I'm gonna say this. For me, I don't like getting performed on. I don't like having someone, trying to do that thing with me. But I like giving. I like pleasuring someone else, and then I'm a person that I would.
So you like sucking dizzle?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, we got to make it plain for my people.
I don't like getting, anal all the time. That's something I don't like doing all the time. I do it once in a while. Now, if I choose to do that, I have to really get to know you. I have to really be comfortable with you to actually have that done to me. But usually I'm the one doing the thing, I'm usually the one that is boom. And now, I know y'all heard the word top, bottom, versatile, and everything.
Yeah.
Now, a top is a top, a bottom is a bottom. A verse means you go both ways.
Okay.
So I'm a verse. I go both ways. And that's my decision. And it has to be when I do an intimate thing with a man, I'm usually the one doing the, do. But other than me getting penetrated, no, I don't like doing that all the time.
Okay, so you're the pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So these are men, and we're not saying all, so understand that, okay? Mm-hmm. So there's men out there who are married to females, and like you stated, you prefer a female over a male, but you do enjoy a male.
Right.
So would it be safe to say that women need to get like dildos? I mean, how do we prevent this?
Okay, now, a lot of you women. Okay, I'm not going to say all of you.
I understand. We just shop talking. Go ahead.
Okay, now you got some. Now, see if a man meets a woman and for the first time and they want to be intimate with each other. Now, before you get to that part, before you start being intimate with another woman or another man, whatever, you need to sit down and talk to your man or your woman and discuss with them what you're going to do and not going to do. And I feel that, anytime having sex with somebody, it's just not, a lot of people like doing one-night stands, one-night flings, and this and that. But I believe I want to get to know the person before I have sex with them.
Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's dive on in.
Okay.
Tell me your experience when a man actually, a husband actually approached you. Tell us take us through that. How did that go?
Well, I had one experience with one man, and he was married. He was a down low brother, and he knew me, and he picked me up one day, and we started talking, and you know how some, and I'm just going to use this like a minister or somebody. You know how they like to always give you good compliments and this and that, trying to be nice to you and talk to you all nice and times like.
Oh, okay. So build you up. Okay.
Build you up and tell you, a lot of people call you gay, a lot of people call you bi and this and that. But at the midst of it, you still come on top. You don't let that bother you. You still go out there and do you. And he said all these nice things to me. And then out the blue, he said, I like you. And then I really want to I said, okay, thanks. I respect this. Like, thank you. No, but I really like those. Okay, that's nice. And then all of a sudden he said, well, can you unzip your pants and let me see your blah blah.
This the first encounter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting into that, and I'm blown away because at the same time, now I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
No, wait, whoa, what you gonna say? Don't say no names.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't say no names. But this man is a minister. Okay. Now he's part of the church. He's well known, and he comes out to me and tells me this, and I'm looking at him, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, what do I do? And how do I feel about this? You're a minister, and you're supposed to be minister, but you want to perform sex with me. And how do I take that? Does it make me wrong for sleeping with a minister? Do I am I wrong? And I'm trying to.
Okay, so you felt convicted.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I made the choice, and I went to go ahead and do what I wanted to do, and I gave him what he wanted, and then after that,
what did he want?
Well, he wanted to perform oral sex for me. He wanted to go down on me. He wanted me to, penetrate him.
Okay, boom. Now, Nick, go ahead. What you got, Nick? I can't hear you. What you got?
9 times out of 10, it is usually the ministers, somebody that's standing in the pulpit and usually condemning people. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that are usually down low. Like, come on, man. If that's what you want to do, then you don't have no business standing in the pulpit telling somebody they wrong for being gay. Exactly. Knowing that you are down low yourself. Let's just call a spade a spade.
How about we just don't address those scriptures at church then?
Thank you. How about you just sit down, period? Sit down.
Okay, I want to hear Amber. Amber got it, and my phone is blowing up. Go ahead, Amber.
So as far as the married man in this equation, as far as the wife, the husband, and then Eugene, to me, the person that's most wrong is the husband. He's the one who took vows. No one put a gun to that man's head and forced him to marry a woman. Especially in 2022, you are not, there is no, I'm not comfortable. That's an excuse. That is, I want to hold on to my heterosexual privilege in this country. That is not, I just didn't have a choice. That, like Eugene said, that's a choice that you made to be deceitful, to be dishonest with yourself and dishonest with your spouse. And as far as women telling more sexually fluid men that what their boundaries are, women are allowed to have boundaries. Okay, you are entitled to make whatever decision you want about your body, whether you're a female or you're a male. So if someone's boundaries don't align with yours, then that's not your person. Neither person is wrong. Y'all just don't line up with each other. Frankly, because we're talking about down low men, is again the man's fault for not, first of all, communicating what he actually desires. As Mel pointed out, they don't even feel comfortable enough to speak on what they truly want. But guess what? That's their fault, because nobody's stopping you from saying, this is what I truly want. This is what I desire. This is what I prefer. This is what I'm into. Nobody's stopping you from living in your truth in 2022.
And nobody is stopping you from, once you found out that even if you want to stay down low and you don't want to tell your truth or tell that woman, once you hear that that woman is not into it, then if it's okay not to say anything to that woman, just bow out gracefully.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, Nick, to your point. To your point, Nick. To your point. Is there a bow out gracefully? Because here's the deal. If somebody just leave, you'd be like, I don't know what happened. They just left. And I thought I was like the perfect wife. This happens so often. And I know people personally that this has happened to. But here's the deal. So you have somebody like myself, Nick. I mean, I don't, know what other people, ain't putting their stuff out there. But where it's like, nah, I'm not interested in that. I'm not doing that. And then they go that direction. They go that direction, and you be like, no, you want me to put this dildo on? Like, you want a man. And then there's the people tossing salad. Remember the tossing salad thing? That was an issue. Because, and I'm just saying this is alleged, like they were out there talking about Gabrielle Union. I think it's in her book too, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't read the whole book yet, but where there's women out there that don't have a problem. Hold on, Amber. There's women out there that don't have an issue with tossing salad. But if that's what your man likes, then what, are you there to please him? Are you willing to do that? If you like sex, you like sex. But I do have to say, it's that bow out gracefully. That isn't a thing, honestly, because you have people and then you want to slander and be like, oh, he out here with this person, that person, that person. Well, what happened? And so devastated. And I'm going to tell my fellas out there that might take or may have taken the high road, like Nick said, just bow out gracefully. For a female, there is no bow out gracefully, because we as women, not all, I'm speaking just my opinion. Why didn't it work? Girl, he gay. Girl, he done did this and that. So it's a slander thing. Well, I remember he had me put this dildo on and I was so uncomfortable and I'm like, he is gay. You know what I'm saying? So where is it at? And you can have a conversation, but wait.
Talk about having a conversation.
Wait a minute, Eugene, hold on. Let me finish it. So once you sit there and you say, okay, and you have that conversation at the beginning, some men aren't comfortable. So it's a trust issue, like Eugene was saying. It's a trust issue. Like, okay, if I really share what I'm really into, are you going to out me?
So I just wanted to point out one thing so there's not misinformation or miscommunication.
Go
You're
ahead.
not actually referring to a dildo. You're referring to a strap-on.
Yeah, the strap-on, yeah, the belt. Thank you.
Because I was like, because you're like, they need to get a dildo. I'm like, how is that weird?
Not a dildo, a strap-on, honey. It's okay, though. It's okay, but and you know what? That's for people that don't. I'm not gonna hold that against her because she doesn't experiment to that field yet. She hasn't opened up to that field yet, and I want to keep her like that. But I mean, the thing about it is, I'm not gonna put it out. I'm gonna put it out there, but y'all say, how is it hard for it to open up to a woman about you being bisexual? How do you approach a woman to tell her to be in a relationship and then bring this whole mess and say, babe, I got to tell you something, I'm bisexual. Now, I had an experience with that, and I'm going to be honest with you. I had a woman, and she was my ex-girlfriend, and she was bisexual. So it kind of helped me that she was already bisexual.
Okay.
We talked, and I was bisexual, and we came to a point where we were okay with it. But we never went outside our relationship and stepped around with other people. We kept our business to ourselves. We kept our bisexuality to ourselves. And we did a lot of things together. She let me go down on her and be in the booty like it's groceries. And then a lot of women ask, why do men like eating booty? Why do men like doing anal? And okay, is it the gay thing? No, I'm not going to say that. We're not even going to say it's a gay thing. No,
okay, well, what is it?
It's a life. It's something sexual that you like doing. You like doing anal on a woman, okay, that's okay. You like eating their butt, okay, that's okay. It's not a gay thing, and I hate when people say it's a gay thing, because you got a lot of brothers out here when they have sex with a woman, and a woman likes to be pleased in every way. They like certain things, and then there's some women that be like, okay, if you're not going to do it, I know a man who's going to do it. If one person don't do it, there's always going to be another person going to do it better.
And in your case, it's easier to find a male.
Mm-hmm.
I need to understand this. Is it like before we didn't have social media? Like, how do you approach someone? Because you shared your experience where it was like, hey, you talk, you see where the self-esteem is at if somebody's talking. And I just feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, that individual saw you were lightweight, ostracized, or outcast, and came to you and was like, okay, well, they say that you're bi or gay, and then boom, came in. But how are you approached? Like, do they like call somebody, they know somebody to be like, oh yeah, he gay, go ahead and call him and you could get what you could get the feeling that you want. How does that work? Or does gay know gay?
I mean, my thing, a lot of y'all saying coming out the closet. Me, I haven't really came out the closet because I don't consider myself gay. I consider myself bisexual. So I'm not all the way out the closet, but I mean, I will let it be known that I like men, and I'm not going to lie about that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Every woman I have ever been with, I always told them the truth, and I gave them the choice. Now, a lot of men, when they get into a relationship, they do not give women choices. And I believe that if you're going to get into a relationship with a woman and you're bisexual or anything, you need to come up front and tell the woman before you get in the relationship and let her know, okay, this is what I am and this is what you're going to have to accept and everything. And you can either accept it and we can walk away and be friends, or we can do this together and build up on it and, have boundaries. It's all about communication. If there's no communication in your relationship, then you shouldn't even be doing it, If you're not ready to be honest with your significant other, then I feel that you need to step back. And you need to respect the woman and you need to respect the man.
Okay, but that's where you come in to lightweight save marriages. And I hate to sound that way, because if you say have the communication and you feel like, oh, okay, I trust this person, I'm married to my best friend and blah, 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 and you have all of that, but when you come to your spouse, or say like if you're in the bedroom and it's like, okay, I really want to do this, but he don't really get there the right way, or he doesn't do it the right way. So now I'm flipping it to the women, and I got a question with the women where it's like, okay, he doesn't do it the right way, but I don't want to tell him, because if I tell him, he might not ever do it again because he all in his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, Amber got a question. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't have. It's not a question. It was a criticism.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, if you're with a partner and that's how you genuinely feel, first of all, your intuition is probably right, but you're guaranteed to never be sexually satisfied if the man you're dealing with ego is that damn fragile that you cannot communicate about your sexual satisfaction. I also wanted to throw in there that I do believe a spouse, so husband or wife, your obligation is to try to sexually satisfy your partner. And I think that on both sides, when you're talking about a long-term relationship, I think most people have the ability to view the person in front of them as a complete and total human being. And that means they're multifaceted, and that sex and sexual satisfaction does not necessarily have to be everything. And I think when men are closeted, they're willing to hold back on the sexual side of it for all the other perceived benefits of being with a woman. And then a woman oftentimes is willing to hold back sexually and not be sexually satisfied by her partner because of all the other perceived benefits of being with that other person. And that goes on. So it's on both sides of there's so much more to a relationship than just your sexual needs being satisfied.
It is. It is. I agree. And I think that's why people are with women, but they still want their sexual needs met.
Well, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I want this to be answered as honestly as you can. Now, y'all, all three women, and y'all know what y'all like and don't like. Now, let me ask you this. Now, if a man approaches you and he says, okay, babe, I like you and I want to be with you and I want to have a relationship, but there's some things you need to know. I'm bisexual. Now, he told you that. Now, being that he came out and was honest and he stepped up and said he was bisexual now, are you willing to look past that? Are you willing to move forward and put down boundaries, which y'all not going to do and not to accept? And can you look over the fact that he's bisexual and he's been with multiple partners, but he's going to be faithful just to you? And there's some things that's going to have to change in how you have sex with him.
Okay, hold on. Let's answer the question. Go ahead, Nick.
No, we can be friends, but thank you for being upfront and forward with me. But that is, like I said, my personal preference. We can be friends, but I appreciate the fact that I appreciate the fact that you're telling me before it gets too late.
Okay.
That's the thing. That's the communication thing that I was getting at. If you are afraid to tell somebody, then just say, listen, I can see this isn't going to work out. There's certain things that I may like that you may not. But thank you. But yeah, as long as somebody is telling me ahead of time, no, I cannot go past it. Will I slam you? No. Can we be friends? Yes, we can be friends. We could probably be the best of friends. But can we have a relationship? No. That's my personal preference.
Okay. Amber D?
I'm going to say no also, because in my observations, poly relationships, even when they're kind of heterosexual or quadruple or thruples or whatever, and as you mentioned, Eugene, boundaries. And this isn't regular two-person heterosexual relationships. Boundaries are always pushed or broken. So even when there's established boundaries, like when you had mentioned the threesome example, and then, and that, because to me, what I heard was that, okay, you agreed to have a threesome, and then somebody caught feelings, but it was supposed to be a strictly sexual experience. So right in that example itself, a boundary was broken. A pre-agreed upon boundary was broken. So, and I feel like just with human nature and human beings, it's hard to control our emotions. And we'll get into my personal beliefs on sex and the purpose of sex. So to establish boundaries that are unlikely to be respected, I think is pointless when it comes to involving other people in your relationship. And personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that person. Because I'm a heterosexual, I identify as heterosexual, and I only am romantically involved with men who also identify as heterosexual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know anymore. Just because you identify with it don't mean that's what you really are nowadays.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that next week.
I see where y'all coming from.
Wait, let me answer this question. I got a question for your question. Because I already answered mine. Mentally for me, just in case like that, mentally for me, I would just feel like, okay, that's cool. But I would feel like every time you went out, like somebody that's on drugs. Would I date somebody that was on drugs? Me personally, I would not be able to deal with it. Would I date somebody that's bisexual? I would not be able to deal with it because every time that you leave the house, I don't know if you go be, backslide, or reformed, you know what I mean? And you used to be, or you might desire that. But I do have a question for you that came through. Eugene, you said you like sucking dizzle. I just got to make it plain. Okay. Now you did say that you like sucking dizzle. So if you're with a female, hold on, wait. If you're with a female and you like that arousal, but if you're with a female and she got a strap on, do you suck the strap on?
Oh no, I knew he was gonna bring up that one.
Do people really suck strap-ons?
Okay. Let me put it this way. Okay, now we have a.
Wait, I need you to answer that straight out.
I'm going to answer. I'm putting this out there, but we have a lot of things in the sex industry where you can suck a dildo and it tastes like candy.
Okay, so again, do you suck the rubber or not?
Yes, you suck the rubber, but it's not rubber though; it's candy.
Okay, so wait, but if you enjoy doing it and you enjoy seeing a penis become erect, how does that work with the strap on?
Okay.
Good question, caller.
Okay, now, I'm with a woman, and I'm very attracted to this woman.
You're with a bisexual female that's like, I'm all in, whatever you want.
I'm all in for it. Now, she brings out the strap on. It's going to blow my mind because I never, my ex-girlfriend, we didn't even do that together.
Okay.
But, when that time comes and she brings that, I'm going to be blown away.
Listen, I'm going to be blown away. I see somebody sucking a strap on.
But the thing about what touches me is that she was comfortable enough to bring out the strap on and say, babe, okay, I don't want you going to another man. I don't want you going outside our relationship. So
okay.
I'm going to bring in this strap on so you feel okay about it. And I'm going to do it. So that right there, that would arouse me. Not also sexually, but mentally. And what I mean by mentally is that she took the time to understand where I'm coming from, and she's okay that the fact, okay, my man wants some D.
Okay.
And I'm going to give him that D, and I'm going to please him. Now, not every woman is willing to go beyond and above for their man. But if you're lucky enough to be with somebody that's willing to go that far with you, I would say go for it. Be excited. And I am excited. When I see a woman that does that for me, that shows me that she loves me, that we communicated together, and we are both in the same boat.
Okay, so you guys connected. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a personal question, Eugene. Mm-hmm. Do you like a more masculine woman?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking.
Wait a minute. Let's break that down.
Oh, yeah, let's break it all down.
Okay. Now, what I mean by masculine women, she doesn't have to look like no man. Now, you ever seen Sierra, the singer Sierra? Okay, now, she wears fitted hats sometimes, and then she'll put on a black tank top with some booty shorts or something. Now, I like stuff like that. You know, I like when a woman has a fitted hat and has like a tank top, like a dirty, rough look. And
so it's a more masculine female.
More masculine. Or like if you ever watched Fast and the Furious, you ever seen Michelle Rodriguez?
Mm-hmm. Okay, y'all did. Okay.
Rodriguez, she's a lesbian. In real life, she really is a lesbian. But she's not girly. She's very well-rounded. She knows about the guy stuff. She knows about the motorcycles. She knows about the cars and stuff like that. And she's very dominant. So I like a woman like that.
Dominant.
Now, when we go out together and stuff, she can have like some jeans and a button-up shirt or whatever, and she can look so good. I like women that look like that. Now, that's my preference. I like a woman that hard. Now, a lot of men, they don't like a dominant woman, but I'm comfortable with it because I was raised by a lot of women.
That were dominant?
Yes, that are dominant. That are very strong-minded.
Okay.
I'm used to a woman being more independent. I'm not used to these, like, Youngstown, no. But I'm just going to say, the women I know, they're independent. They got their own thing. They're masculine. They're tomboys. They like to do the boy stuff. And that's the type of woman I want. And I'm comfortable with. Now, she doesn't have to be bisexual. She doesn't have to be, into other women. But, it would make things easier for me if she was bisexual. Now, I'm not going to say every woman's going to accept me being bisexual, because not every woman's going to go for that.
Okay.
And there's a lot of women in Youngstown that are not going to go for that. But if you go to a bigger city like New York, Miami, Los Angeles, or whatever, or London,
we get it.
They're more acceptable to that because they don't condemn that. Now, if we live in a small area, a small town, hip town, they're not going to accept that because people are still set in their ways. People are still set in the
So
Bible
do you think it's just, like, when you say like a smaller town and it's shunned and it's looked at as, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they are this way or they're doing that. Mm-hmm. And here's the problem that I have with that. And I did ask you a question, but I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
You're married to somebody that really wants that and they desire that. Now you did say that that's why I asked you the question, are you attracted to, because you said you were bisexual, are you attracted to a more masculine female? Now sometimes you'll have that where they're like, oh, okay, they must be gay. You have that masculine female and they dress like, wait, right. But I'm giving you the scenario. Oh, okay. They're masculine. They must be gay. And, they've got to be a lesbian. And that's not the case. It's just that they're more masculine. Now, when you say that as a bisexual male, so when I see people out and it'll be a male that's gay and he's dating a lesbian female. I get so confused because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, so why don't y'all just date each other? Kind of like what you were saying. You were dating somebody that was bisexual and they had those masculine traits that you actually desire, and it was okay to be together.
Right.
Nick, what you got?
Ooh, child.
This is a little bit deep.
Yeah, it's very deep. I'm floored. Like I said, if that's what that person likes, then more power to y'all. Just communicate. That's my thing. My whole thing in this whole scenario. Just communicate.
Okay, what if somebody, and this is for you, Nick, what if somebody that you're with and everything is copacetic, you guys been together since you were young, and then he desires something different and say, hey, let's try this. What's your thoughts on that?
It depends on what he's about trying.
Okay.
If you want to try that, sir.
So do you think that they have gay tendencies?
I'm going to ask. Y'all know me, I'm just going to ask.
Okay.
I'm going to ask. I mean, because, and that scenario is kind of hard because you've been together especially if you've been with somebody for a long time and, they that was not when they didn't have those tendencies when you first got together, or at least we hope not.
Okay.
But then, later on in life, they want to try something different. That's hard. It's hard to change, especially with something that you're not used to.
Okay. Amber, I want to hear Amber's response. Go ahead. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I noticed I actually had a question for Eugene that kind of folds into this. He was when you asked him what he's attracted to, what I heard was more masculine or gender fluid clothing, like appearance, but then also more masculine in energy, like women who have more masculine energy. So is it more their energy is more important to you, or is it more of the clothing, the attire?
I think it's more of the energy. I'm not, I mean, like I said, you do not have to look like a boy to me to be attracted to. Even though, I'm not going to lie, I love studs. I love transsexual women. Like when I say transsexual women, a woman trying to be a man or getting the sex change. Now, I'm not attracted to a guy transforming into a woman.
He said
and y'all may think that's kind of funny, but I'm not attracted. It's attractive a little bit, but it doesn't turn me on. Now, if a woman does it, it turns me on. Because it's just like a psychological thing for me.
Yeah, Nick is making emotions Nick is making emotions to my thoughts. And so we got to be very clear because we're on air. We're on radio. Okay. So people can't see our faces. So we got to give it to them. Uh-huh. Okay. So what, at the beginning, you did say you prefer women over men.
Yes.
And you said that you're okay with a woman becoming a man. But not okay with a man becoming a woman. So is it the vagina?
What's the difference?
The vagina.
Well, I would think it's...
Wait. Let's ask him because it's his preference.
It's the vagina for me. You know, it's just something that a man can't give me. You know, it's okay when I say I love a woman. I like. Not every man is like this, but I am. But that can be because I'm clingy. But I like to cuddle a lot. I like to be sensual, and I like to rub on a woman. But when it comes to a guy, they're not into cuddling. They're not into being sensual. They're not into being all lovey-dovey with you. But a woman will. Even a masculine woman will. And, it's different. But I want to touch bases of what I was talking about. Now I hear a lot of women, I want to spice up a relationship. Now, when y'all say spice up a relationship, now, this is where it kills me. Y'all say y'all not going to do these things. And y'all say you're not going to go out y'all relationships and do other things. But then again, you just told your man you want to spice up your relationship. Let's do something different. Now, it doesn't always have to be, okay, let's bring in somebody different or let's do this. But tell me what y'all mean exactly by spicing up a relationship.
Go ahead, Amber.
I think it depends on like what your baseline is within that relationship with those two people. I would feel like in the sex industry, like there's levels, right? And there's like, the baseline would be like vanilla missionary position, right? And so then you can like go a step up from there is like maybe the woman on top. You know what I'm saying? So that's a variation. That's
a spice up.
Example. That's a spice up because they've always been doing it missionary. But so I think, but not say I want to spice it up and go from 0 to 100. So that's what I would think. But I actually had another question for you.
Wait. Let Nick go. Let Nick answer. Okay. Go ahead.
Listen, I go into it, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. So listen. Look, I ain't got that problem.
Okay, so the spice is that it's seasoned when they come in.
I'm seasoned when I come in. I ain't put no finger in the booty though. That might be a spice up for me trying to finger in the booty.
Oh no,
baby, listen. I'm telling you now.
But Miss Nick, you just said that you're willing to try something different, as long as it doesn't be. As long as it doesn't come out the pocket, as long as it doesn't be too out there.
Yeah, not too out there.
That if you can be comfortable. Now, I will say this. Now, Miss Nick, if a man approaches you and he says, babe, I know you never tried to get your booty licked or anything and this and that, but baby, I got some chocolate syrup and I got some honey. And we're going to try this tonight. I want to eat the booty and put this all in the booty. are you willing to go that far with that man?
Been there, done that. Next.
Okay, there you go.
But if they say, "Can you do it to me?" Are you willing?
Nah, I gotta work up to it. I ain't gonna say I haven't. Let me not lie. I'm not gonna say I haven't. But, baby, some things about that will turn me a bit. Listen, I don't want to smell shit. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
I don't want to smell that. No smell.
Let's just put it out there.
It's clean.
Oh, okay. Wait. Eugene, let Eugene speak. Go ahead.
Okay, let's just put it out there. Okay. Now, I'm a nympho. Do y'all understand what a nympho means?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to explain for our audience.
No, they already know. They got to catch up because we about to be off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. But I like sex. I like having sex. I like trying different things. And, I do a lot of things to please a woman. That's probably why some women says yes to me all the time. And, I never got wrong with that. But like I say, and I think we can all agree, you have to be comfortable in your sexuality when you're in a relationship. You have to be secure in your sexuality.
But that's the problem. People aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, how do we get there? And is there a way to like, that's why I was asking, how do they approach you? Like, how do these married men or heterosexual men?
Are you saying, okay, how do you approach a woman with that? Or how do a woman come up to you?
No, how does the heterosexual male, because you did say that, approach you? Like, I understand there's a communication block with their partner, but how are they finding you?
Are we saying a single person or a married person?
A married person, a heterosexual man, the down low brother, how are they finding you?
Okay. Now, this guy, the minister was married.
Okay.
So we met somewhere before we got together. And we talked. But he didn't come out to me, but I got a vibe.
Okay.
That he was down low. Because you can always tell by a person when you first meet them if they're down low or not. I said, buddy,
what is it like? And I heard that before from a few, a few of my people.
It's a vibe. Like, I think, when you're, okay, the way to tell a person that they're gay, the way they move, the way they sound, the way they dress, and how they approach and how they talk. And you can tell this off the bat. Now, if that man is more into his the way how he looks and how he dresses all the time, because I'm a metrosexual, so I always gotta look good. I always look at,
and that's what I thought. You were metro, so I get that. But what if somebody like you don't know? Let's say, for instance, like the Judge Mathis show. His son, Greg Jr., is gay, but his partner, I would have never known in a million years.
He was gay.
That he was gay. I would have never known because I didn't see it at all. But clearly he is, because they're on the Mathis Family Matters.
You got some dudes that are a thug.
But how do they come to you?
I'm going to drop it down to you. When you got a thug nigga, now a thug. When I say a thug nigga, like a man that's not dressing like a female or has feminine
traits, right?
And or nothing like that. Usually you won't be able to tell because they keep their business to themselves. They're very private. They do not let people know about that. But I can always tell because you can notice when a man is into you, how they approach you and talk to you sometimes. And you can tell off.
So it's the conversation.
It's the conversation. And you have to pick up on little things what they be talking about. Like little things. You can notice, like, if they're not talking about a lot of women, or they're talking about more of themselves or how they look, or or the way they it's just how they approach you. Like, you can tell off the back they're gay.
Okay, so I ain't gonna know that. So clearly I'm not gonna know that part of it because I miss it. Probably because I ain't really that interested. But the whole dildo question, that was a good one. What about and I just want to know your perspective on this, Eugene. Females who date females that look like men. Like I'm confused with that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, are you really? Do you really like women or do you like men?
We're going to transfer over. Okay, now you got lesbian, you got studs, and you got dykes.
Okay.
And, the studs, they look more like men, and the dykes, they are men.
Oh.
Okay.
They just go all in. Okay.
They go all in. They get the what's it called?
What, the surgery?
The surgery.
Okay.
The cut. Oh, I don't know if I can say that. But the breast.
Okay.
The breast cut.
Okay.
And sometimes there's an operation for the female.
I got you. Yeah, but let's hurry up for the sake of the show because I know we over time too. Go ahead.
And they just look like a man. And then you got now. I don't know why some women like for another woman to look like a man. I think it's more of an attraction thing. I think it's more of they want a hard
body,
a hard man, or
that
hard person.
Look, that rough, rugged
look.
I
think it's more of a daddy issue to me.
Oh.
Okay. Now, when I say a daddy issue, like they had some issues about their dad. Some of these women that have their dads in their lives, and they've been through a whole lot of drama, or they've been abused by their dads and stuff, or they just want somebody hard. And that's when they come into being with a female that wants to be a man. Now, what
about the males?
Males, I can.
So they got mommy issues.
That too. It comes down to all that. Yes, it does. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing because yes, it does. It's like we all have drama in our life. We deal with a lot of issues about drama.
Okay.
I remember we were talking about why do females be a lesbian but still want to use a dildo as filtration and strap on to another woman. Now, that being said, if a woman is still using a dildo and a strap on, I'm going to tell you this. Somewhere in their head, they still want to get penetrated. They still want a man.
And see, I believe that. I believe that. And that's why I'm just so confused.
A lot of women say, oh, I'm a lesbian. I'm never going to go to a man. But babe, you just got ducked down with a dildo. You just got ducked down by the strap on. You still want a man. I don't care how you look at it. Why do we still want a dildo? Why do we still want a strap on? Why do we still want a penetration? Because we still want a man. Okay,
all right, okay. I'm gonna stop you on that one because we have to have a lesbian on the show, and nobody's here, to defend themselves on that. But I did want to talk about how these husbands and why they are going that direction. And I'm being honest, I know several. And when they decided to step out, and you wouldn't even think it. They stepped out, then the wife is like slandering him. And I would say from a female's perspective, I didn't have this issue. So let me put that out there so you don't have to look at anybody in my background and be like, oh, okay, when are rumors to start? But I do want to say, why is it, that we slander the guy? Is it because we know we can't compete? Because that's the truth that would be my thing. I wouldn't slander a guy.
I think it goes both ways.
But wait a minute. I know with me, I would be more so like, I wouldn't slander them, but I know like if you decide that you are bisexual or you've been with a man or you want a man, I know I cannot compete. And even though we shouldn't have to compete, but people being people, we already know. I know I can't compete. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, why? Why stress myself out? But there are some people who actually are okay. Like we had somebody left in the comments that they're okay
Facebook
with it.
User.
Okay, and they're okay with it, and I could respect that because there's different people. We just got a comment in that says, "Yeah, next time ask a lesbian," and I'm definitely going to do it. Wait a minute, Eugene, hold on. I'm definitely going to ask a lesbian because I want to know. I want us to be educated, even though if y'all know me, I don't care who nobody sleep with. Even heterosexual, I'm just not that interested. I like the people for who they are. But for the sake of knowledge, education, and of course on here, edutainment, open up our minds and listen to.
Can we have both sides on there?
But we have to hold on, Eugene. I want to finish my statement. We have to open our minds and our hearts and understand people instead of shunning. And these are from my judgmental people and shunning. And women who are actually married and then shocked that's why I really wanted to do it. And I told you, Eugene, to help our married people or people that are in these long lasting relationships. And it's like, okay, wait, they can't talk to you. What is it that we are doing that is making our men, and like I said, this is not just a black thing or a white thing. This is all over. What is it that we are doing or not doing that are allowing, that have our men feeling like they have no other option but to go that direction and keep it quiet? You know what I mean? And I understand, you have husbands out there, they lie to their spouse. But like, honey, do I look good in this dress? Yeah, you look good, knowing they look a mess because you don't want to hurt their feelings. And we as people, the people that are closest to us, the people that we love, we don't want to hurt. Mm-hmm. So even though you say communication, wait. You do say, communication. So my question is this. Yes, communication is key, but how do you present that conversation? How does that conversation start? Because I can just imagine me sitting there and somebody saying, "Hey, Mel, you know what? I like anal sex." So my mind, as a heterosexual female, be like, "You like anal sex?" My mind first, the first thing out. "Oh, you didn't try this before?" And then I go with Nick. I'm up there with Nick like, "Well, you should have told me this at the beginning." Right. You know what I'm saying? So Eugene, I'm asking you, how would you present that to the table? How do you present? How do you say, "Hey, this is what I like"?
Well, I mean, in my circumstances, like with my ex-girlfriend, like the way how I approached her about it. But like I said, she was bisexual. But even if she wasn't bisexual, I still came to her the right way.
At the beginning.
What I did is I got to know her a little bit to see where her head was mentally. Okay. And we talked on the phone for a couple of days. And I just came out and said, I need to tell you some things about myself. Okay, so you shared your sexuality. Mm-hmm. And I can respect that. She at first she was like, "Okay, well, I need to tell you something too." So we're both bisexual, and it was okay. So that's a good match. It was a match. We were good to each other. But now I have been with a woman that was straight, and I came out to her. Now at first it took some time. It took some. How long? Maybe like 2 or 3 months. Okay. For her to get used to the idea of me being bisexual.
Okay,
And
so then that's when you felt comfortable?
It had to come down to trust. Do she trust me or not?
Okay.
And what I mean by trust is you have to get to know your person who you're with.
Okay.
And you have to, I think if you go on a couple dates, because you can't really tell about somebody over the phone. You have to be around them.
You can't, and I get that. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But for the sake of the show, because we're almost over, Amber, what would be your suggestion? How do you present your sexuality? And then Nick, you're next. How would you present that to your mate? Or if you want to try something different, how would you do it?
So I think in dating, it should be pretty upfront. I feel like in this day and age, it's something that should be discussed like on the first date, like just basics, because that's where we're at right now in our culture. If you're in a long-term relationship, like you've been together for 40 years and your partner wants to try something new, me personally, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, he's gay or anything like that. I would think that maybe he's getting really bored. And that's how I would receive that. It's like, okay, my partner, or it's my husband or my wife is, they're getting disinterested. Okay. So you need to step your game up. And if you're not willing to try what they're suggesting, make a counter offer of something you are comfortable with. Like have dialogue, have negotiations, like some movement needs to occur. Because I feel like when your partner is resolute and firm in something, even though you're verbalizing discomfort or displeasure, ignoring it and just like, no, we're going to maintain the status quo, is probably going to lead, either way you look at it, is that there's a possibility of it ending badly. But I feel like you're more likely for it to end badly when you just refuse to work with your long-term partner.
Okay. Go ahead, Nick. Your thoughts? What would be your suggestion?
To try something new. During the course, of getting to know someone, that discussion we need to have, and just, I'm gonna ask you, listen, later on, okay, you feel like this now, but later on down the line, you're gonna want to try something crazy. If so, please let me know. But during the course of, like you said, a long-term relationship, I'm okay, are you bored? What's wrong? What am I not doing right? Let's talk about this, or tell them, listen, babe, we need to try something a little bit different. Nothing too off the wall, but that communication, it needs to be constant. But please let me know ahead of time. Tell me up front while we just in the friend phase, and let me make that decision. That's my only suggestion. Tell me while we still in the friend phase where it ain't gonna hurt nobody to walk away.
Okay, so here's a question that I have. So if your mate comes to you and they got these new fresh ideas, in your mind, are you thinking, well, we didn't used to do it like that, why you want that now? And are you cheating?
I'm gonna ask, you been cheating? That's gonna be my first thing. You've been cheating? Who you been trying to with? So I'm not even gonna lie. Me personally, I'm gonna ask that.
Okay, Eugene, what's your thoughts?
I'm not gonna think that. I can't always assume they're cheating because every now and then, my sex life, I like to change it up a bit. I like to spice it up. So if you bring something new to the table to me, we're going to have to talk about it, and I'm going to have to be okay with it. But usually I do be down for a lot of stuff, so I'm good with it. But like I said, it all comes down to if you're okay with your sexuality and you're secure in your relationship. You have to be secure in your relationship, whatever you do. And if you're going to bring another person in a relationship, before you even do that, decide to do that, talk to your spouse, have boundaries, and then tell them this is what it's going to be that night. This is what's going to happen. And then when we get done having sex, it doesn't mean for you to go call that person and say, okay, babe, let's do this again. Let's have sex alone. No. set the boundary, set the cutoff day. Say, this is the night we're having a threesome, and after that, you have no more communication with that person.
And that doesn't seem to work that way all the time, because how many times have that broken up relationship?
Exactly.
And I know wait a minute, Eugene, I know I had you over, and I so appreciate you for coming on. And we are going to let you go. Thank you so much for giving us some insight. I truly, truly appreciate you. So I want to just give it up to you. All right. So thank you so much. We had him on a little longer because he could only stay on till 11. That's why I was like, okay, let me hurry up and get him off. Do you feel like that was beneficial?
Very. I actually had 2 questions for him that I didn't get to ask. It was very enlightening. He had great input and a different perspective. This was a great episode. So.
Okay, very good. Nick, your thoughts?
Yeah, very beneficial, because now I'm looking like, can we have friends? Can we have a conversation first while we still... I'm just going to come right out and ask, listen, there's some things I'm going to ask you I don't want you to get, but I need to know.
It's more common. It's more common now.
It's more common than you think.
Yes.
Exactly. And I think for me, it's something I noticed. I think that's why it's important to use technical terms, because when you talked about some people consider themselves a heterosexual, but what they're comfortable with or what they're willing to do, you wouldn't consider heterosexual.
Right, because we look at it as, okay, well, you must be bi.
Exactly. Right. And and outside of heterosexuality, there's a whole gamut of things. So it's not like, oh, either you're heterosexual or you're homosexual. No, there's so many different other things out there. But you will never know if you don't talk about it just plainly.
Yeah, and, it's so interesting because when you look, when you're removed from it, and you're like, oh, okay, I don't care. That's me. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever's whatever. But you're really not removed from it.
Right.
Because you're in a relationship, or you may be in a relationship that actually... they might be down low and you don't know. Oh, okay, I'm going to my homeboy's house. Oh, okay, we know what we do, but we don't know what other people do. And it may be some things people might want to experiment. And like you said, Amber, bored. Like, okay, was that you or was that Nick that said probably
Amber
bored?
Said bored.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't want to make it seem no type of way, but I think from myself, I try to put myself in other people's shoes. And it's like, I get bored.
Okay.
In conversations, in whatever, any situation, I'll get bored. So if I'm capable of getting bored, I would imagine my partner can become bored. So it's not like, oh, that's bad on their character or anything. I think that's just human nature. When you've had the same thing over and over for years, I don't know how you couldn't get bored.
But my thing is, okay.
I hear some of my guys, and I'm going to let you go, Nick. I hear some of my guys, they'll say that. They be like, yeah, it's boring. And then you get back, well, what do you want to do? And then there's the attitude. And it's like, wait, what do you want? So go ahead, Nick.
It the attitude will come in is, okay, if you're bored and your mate asks you, okay, well, what do you want to do? Or what do you want to try? Or communicate, man. Some of y'all don't want to talk.
And I think that's where the attitude comes in.
And that's why we get an attitude.
Because it's like, you'll be bored. It's just like in any other situation, not even relating to sex. You're bored, but you're not presenting any solutions to the table. You're just saying, I'm bored, fix it.
Well, what if they don't know what if they don't know
it? That ain't no problem. They need to figure out what
that if you agree to everything. If you know that's something that you don't want to do, just say that. Communicate. Please. Communicate. That's all it falls down to. Communicate. Yeah. Just talk.
Can you really take it though?
Don't keep your mouth shut.
So can you?
Okay.
Okay. So can they really talk though? Are you willing to listen?
In a relationship, if you have open lines of communication, yeah, they can talk, and so can you.
But watch this. Watch this. How many times do you have that person that want to talk and they can't because you immediately shut them down? Now we're talking, this is an intimate, this is a intricate part of, I'm like, okay, slow down. Part of a relationship, sex.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now let's just say, oh, okay, and it's something basic and they want to talk to you about it, or they have like some miraculous idea to just be like, boom, this is what I want to do. I want to sell garbage bags. And you'd be like, what? So something basic like that, and then you shut them down. How can they get here to have this discussion if you're always shutting them down? So we can say, as being females, we can say, oh, okay, communication. But let's look at ourselves for a minute and say, how often has this person, because usually men don't communicate much, but when they do we adhere to what they say, or do we make excuses as to why they're saying it, or do we not hear it because it's not what we want?
I would say I would agree to all three of those things, but also point out that if you are struggling with communication in your relationship, there's Google. There is this is a whole field of study of how to effectively communicate with your partner, with coworkers, with subordinates, with whoever. Like, how do you effectively communicate your feelings, and how do you effectively understand what someone is trying to tell you without doing the three things you just mentioned? So if you see an issue, take the initiative to try to learn to correct it. Okay.
You said Google. And effective ways.
Yes.
I'm a guy, so this is what I'm going to say right now, okay? I'm a guy, and I am effectively trying to keep my marriage together. So I'm going to Google men who sleep with men.
I bet you there's at least 50 articles.
You already know. So with that being said, how do I effectively keep my marriage together and not embarrassing my family, you know what I mean, or the church, or whoever it is that you hold to a high esteem, that you don't want to let them down, because that's what it boiled down to. Somebody else's morals and values, let's be real, okay? And it may not be your own, but you're like, okay, well, I don't want to disappoint, my loved ones, so let me go ahead and stay here, because this looks good, and she is an amazing person, but just go over here for a night or two, or maybe 3 times a year to get this met. So I weigh the options. Go ahead. What'd you say, Nick?
Not even one time a year. If that's how you feel, then we'll talk about it. Yeah, I'll be upset, but then we can part ways from there, because that's not going to be tolerated.
So would it be a clean break? See, that's what we have to be honest with ourselves. Would it be a clean break?
I'll be upset, but listen, I'd rather be upset and get over it than to look like a fool because you back here doing something and I'm thinking that we perfect. Nah, that's all I ever ask of from all 3 of my husbands. Tell me the truth, no matter how much you think it hurt. I might swing on you for a minute.
That ain't okay.
I would rather be told the truth from the beginning than to be out here bragging and then looking like a fool to others. That's what's going to make me want to hurt you. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. That's what's going to make me want to hurt you.
I respect that. I respect your honesty. So your focus is how he makes you look. And that is probably why a lot of them are down low and not just coming out. But go ahead, Amber. She about to eat me up. She about to eat me up.
Okay, so I'm gonna argue that you said they don't want the people that they care about and the people that they hold in high esteem, they don't want to hurt. I don't think it's that. I genuinely don't. I think they are making decisions based on what's in their best interest. That is human nature, and we should all do it. So that is why. But as far as, because I'll hurt them so much, you already hurt them. And cheating, when it comes to infidelity, frankly, especially in this day and age, it don't matter if you cheating on a man or a woman. You still cheating. You still a cheater. You still, being an adulteress. And wrong is wrong. Just because it's a man don't make it less worse. You're still foul and wrong because you're a cheater. So
exactly.
Right. A cheater is a cheater. I mean, if you cheat on a man, okay, whatever. But it's still wrong. You're still wrong. You're hurting your marriage, your partner, and they stay in the closet because that's what's convenient with the least amount of friction. They don't want to go through any discomfort. They don't want to lose their privilege and protection with this. They don't want to be ostracized and all this. You're going to get ostracized over anything and everything because people naturally self-segregate. So I feel like that's a very weak excuse to lie to your partner because that's what it really is about. And not only that, more than likely, let's get into statistics. Okay, it's compromising your partner's health. Okay? So it's not even just cheating now. Like when heterosexual men cheat and then be bringing home babies and STDs to their wife.
Don't you think and then a little bit more?
Right.
Would you rather suffer the sting of a punch in the face or worse? Because I'm telling you, diseases in babiis is going to land you in the hospital with me. I'm sorry. That's just me. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm going to speak my truth, and that's my truth. I know I ain't trying to condone violence, but that's just me.
I was coming with it.
Bringing the baby home,
okay,
bringing me something that I know I didn't have in the first place and I'm not giving to you is going to land you in the hospital.
Okay.
Right.
On behalf of Shop Talk with Mel, the staff, and you got to let me do my part. Quiet. On behalf of the staff and the co-host of Shop Talk with Mel, we do not condone violence. Thank you. I got to protect my brain. So I got to put it out there. But y'all know how...
cheating is cheating, and down low is still. I don't care. Cheating is cheating.
Okay, so you look at it the same. Let me ask you this real quick because I got to hurry up and do my Mel's medical moments. Baby or cheating with a man? Which one is worse to you? Amber, I'm gonna go Amber first. And then Nick. Nick might want to punch somebody.
You can get HIV, you can get AIDS, you can get something that's incurable.
Answer the question. Which one is worse? Or if you can't answer, it's okay. Or if it's the same, it's the same. Baby or your husband having a baby outside or cheating with a man? Which one? No answer?
I would say baby is not as bad.
Okay. Nick, outside baby or cheating with a man? Which is worse?
Same to me.
Huh?
They are the same to me.
Okay. I just had to ask that question. All right. Hey, now that the seasons have changed, I got to put it out. I usually have my little music. My little sound, my little TikTok sound I used to be having. But we going to do it this way. All right, Mel's medical moments. Real quick, the seasons are changing, so we know that it triggers asthma. For my asthmatics out there, if you know what triggers your asthma, usually it's like, of course, the allergy season, perfumes, air, all that good stuff that goes along with it. If you know what it is, try to steer clear from that. What helps during, and these are like quick home remedies of how to address asthma. If you feel as though that you're having some issues breathing, cold air is the answer. Cold air is the answer. You're like, oh, okay. Is it really? Yes, cold air. You can stick your head in the freezer. Not a long time, just to get some air. Make sure you have your inhalers. For my people that are asthmatics, hopefully you have a prescription for an inhaler. And I need you guys to make sure, check the dosage, because when you need it, some people don't need it all the time. You might look and be like, oh, it's empty. Check the expiration date. So please get your prescriptions filled. If you have not seen a doctor with everything that is going on right now, please see your primary care physician, okay? Because like I said, the season is changing. All the different, my little buzzards are going off here. All the different things that are going on out here in the world, the pollen, all that good stuff. pay attention to you and yourself and make sure that you take care of self. Please, please, please. So again, and the viruses, I got to say that too. Rhinovirus during this season. That's your cold. You're like, huh, what? And the rhinovirus leads up to 40% of colds. And your influenza is about to be flu season. So you guys make sure you take care of yourself. Don't wait it out. Don't think, oh, okay, maybe this is this. Maybe I'll get past it because of the illnesses that's been in our environment. Okay. So just if you feel any symptom, contact your primary care physician. Please, please, please. Okay. So don't just sit on it and just be like, oh, okay, I'll be all right. You know what I mean? So do what it is that you need to do for you. All right. Thank you so much, Every D up here in the building. Thank you so much for coming on. Y'all know Amber D, the analyst. She is definitely going to keep us informed with the stats and stuff. So we thank you, Amber. Then we have none other. Y'all know Nick, the voice, is going to keep it 100 and tell you what is happening in those streets. Nick was like, Nick is going to hurt somebody. What we going to do, Nick?
Listen, just keep some money on my books.
We keep it on there.
On my books, that's all I ask.
Just keep the money on the books, huh?
Just keep some money on the books. I'm not trying to go down that path, but yeah, he's still working. Listen, y'all, the good Lord God is still working on me. That's all I'm gonna say. Just keep me in prayer.
All right, that's what we go do. So thank you, Nick the Voice, co-host, been rocking with me. We've been kicking it for a minute, girl, a minute. So thank you for coming on, Nick the voice of the people. Bye. She did it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to Shop Talk with Mel. I want to give you today's footnote. Today's footnote, lovely people. Trust is the fruit of a relationship in which you know you are loved. So here's the deal. Trust, trust, trust. Have the conversations that you need. Don't feel as though you can't talk to your partner, because if you feel as though you can't talk to your partner, or if you're uncomfortable in speaking with your partner, maybe that's not the partner for you. I love you guys for listening. You have no idea. I truly appreciate you. And you guys know that that is my time, and I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Your girl truly appreciate it. All right. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people, you know what it is. Shop Talk every Saturday on your favorite podcast. Deuces.